G'day and welcome to Wine and Cheese for another week. Marcus, what have you got for us this week?
Well, you know, Phil, it's been an interesting week.
Yes.
Heard you've had a bit of trouble with your budgie.
Don't start about my budgie. We'll be going on forever.
He was up to no good, wasn't he? I mean, let's face it. Was he breaking in or breaking out?
He was throwing his ladder around the cage because I leave the ABC radio on for him and I think he's just had enough of all the bad news. And I came home and his ladder was like totally on the other side of his cage.
He's a bit demonstrative, isn't he? I mean, you know, he might have been out for the day. It might be evident. Maybe he was out.
He doesn't come out. He doesn't like to come out. I have to make him come out to have a fly. I keep explaining to him, you're a bird, you need to fly. Okay, it's part of your exercise, right? And I sort of help him, you know, and I get him out and I let him have a fly every day because I don't like the idea of putting a bird in a cage sort of thing. But he's cool and he flies back to it and puts himself in there and puts himself to bed and all that. But he must have
got a doona?
No.
Oh, well, that's what he's upset about, mate. He's been looking for your doona, got the ladder out. Obvious.
Maybe.
You need to have words with him. Or would you like me to have
words? He was pissed off about something, though, because he's never, ever done that before.
No. Have a crack at that.
Oh, mate, thank you. Safe distancing.
I know. Yeah. I'm a thoughtful person.
We got the tape measure to double check.
Yeah. You know I'm a thoughtful person. Okay, so... was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. We had a bit of a competition.
Week one.
Bob DeWolf received his cheesels. Very happy, I believe. Mm-hmm. Did he try to plant them? We gave him the cheesel seeds as well, didn't we? So he can build.
His wife was doing a vegetable garden.
Ah.
And so they planted them. So hopefully they'll get some nice cheesel bushes come out of it.
Nice. Very good. So we thought we'll do maybe another competition, Phil. Mm-hmm. Don't know what the prize will be yet. We'll think of something.
We've got plenty of DVDs here we can throw in.
Yeah, so...
your Dean Martin one's over there. I'm sure somebody would love that.
I don't know if we'd throw them in or just throw them out. So, this week's competition, it's guess the item.
Right.
Guess the item. From the description on the packaging.
You bought something.
We bought something.
And...
this is the description.
This is the description, okay. The translation.
Yeah. So...
All right, go for it.
The product uses advanced microcomputer manufacturing technology, automatic body sensing, high performance, energy saving, ease of use, sensitivity, and without inadvertently touching interference.
Okay.
So that it can effectively monitor the environment from a variety of accounts within the scope of its monitoring of human movement.
Okay.
More suitable for the needs of the market, closer to the lives of consumers, applicable to the office, home, shops, factories, and other places, bringing the convenience, but also bring unexpected joy and a sense of security.
I have no idea what that is.
I got to tell you.
Does it vibrate?
It does it perfectly.
Okay.
This device is perfect for what we need here, particularly given the current circumstances. So the first person that replies to us with a sensible answer.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment below. And we'll see what we can dig up around the place.
Yeah, we'll give you a prize pack of something or other. It'll be worth it.
Oh, undoubtedly. Probably won't be a budgie ladder though.
No, and it won't be a box of cheesels either. That cost us $10 to send a box of cheesels to the 3 suburbs over in Perth. Can you believe that?
I can.
Price gouging, dude.
Oh, yeah. Try dealing with DHL. So, Anyway, so that's the competition this week. I believe we've got somebody now that's going to actually help us relieve a bit of pressure.
Joining us now is our good mate, Paul Reynolds.
Paul's a great bass player, excellent singer, has also been a really good teacher of music.
Okay.
And many hidden talents has he got. And I think he's going to show us one of them now, Phil.
Yeah. Paul, how you doing, mate?
Very well, thanks, mate. I think I'm blushing a bit. But that aside, yes.
And
I'm going to talk about something that's not music, which is one of my principal passions, which is margaritas.
Nice.
Mine too.
So what are the ingredients of a margarita, Paul?
Well, we're talking about what we think of as the classic margarita. I got this recipe from the head bartender in a restaurant in Bali called Arena, and he shared this. He makes the best margaritas, and he shared this recipe with me. And it contains tequila, usually white tequila, generally better than the gold variety for a margarita, especially if it's something like Jose that's good quality. You need triple sec, and you need a simple sweet and sour syrup. And usually you can make that yourself. You boil water and melt sugar into it, and then you add orange and lemon juice. But for the purpose of the exercise, because I'm a bit lazy, we have pre-made sweet and sour syrup, which is essentially the same thing.
Great.
So those are the ingredients. The only other thing you really need is salt and a little lime, and then you're in business.
Fantastic. Let's have a look how it all goes together then.
Okay, now I've taken the liberty of measuring out my ingredients beforehand, just to speed the process along. So we have a little cocktail shaker, and we have 100, now making this recipe for two, we have 100 mils of delicious tequila, right there. We have 40 mils of triple sec.
Oh.
And we have 60 mils, so 2 people, 60 mils of sweet and sour syrup, just like that.
Right.
And that essentially is what you got. Now, the things that go with it, of course, is the preparation of the glasses, and I haven't done that, so I'll just show you what I'm doing here. We have a particularly down market container which contains salt, and we take...
Is that a fairly coarse salt there, Paul?
Regular salt, none of your 100-year-old Tibetan rock salt or anything like that.
Oh dear.
Fine grain. So we take a piece of lime, we take our glass and we rub the outside of the rim with the lime juice, giving it just a little squeeze so it releases a bit of juice, and wind the glass around like that, so it goes all the way around, and then you place it into the salt, like that. Give it a little agitating the salt so that there's odd noise there. And you have a glass that has a beautiful salty rim.
Wow.
Oh, excellent.
You want it all the way around.
That's clever.
And you want it on the outside of the glass, not on the inside of the glass. Because you want the flavour of the salt to go with the drink in your mouth, not in the glass.
Right.
I'll just do this second glass here. Give it a twirl, a bit of a squeeze. See what I'm doing again there. Like that. And once again, into the salt, a little shake around so all the rim gets a bit of coverage and not too much. There, and we have our second glass beautifully salted all the way around. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a trend at the moment in bars to put salt around half the glass, which is pointless because it means you run out of salt before you run out of margarita, which is to be avoided at all costs. So plenty of salt around, absolutely. You finish the preparation of the glass by having a slice of lime, which goes on the side. It's been pre-cut and just cut along the vein, so it slides onto the glass there and hopefully stays more or less upright. And the second glass, the same way. 2 glasses now looking just as though they've stepped out of a cocktail magazine.
Yeah.
Now, this, unfortunately, is where it gets a little bit noisy, so you might have to be careful. I'm just going to go to the fridge and grab the ice.
Yep.
Okay.
And you put the ice into your cocktail shaker. Beware of the noise here. Plenty of ice. Put the lid on the cocktail shaker firmly and beware the serious noise of shaking that's about to take place now. There. Now, your cocktail shaker is nice and cold, your lid is fitting firmly, you just slip it off the top like that. There you go, take your glass and pour.
Wow, that looks great.
Take your other glass, do the same thing. Put a little bit too much in one glass, not enough in the other. We know which one's going to be mine and which one's going to be Catherine's, don't we?
I actually thought they were both yours, Paul.
In the low tide glass is your perfect margarita. Now, you get lots of variations on margaritas. People always mess about with the things, but if you start with the classic recipe like that, you get an idea of what it's really supposed to taste like. And then, of course, if you want to change it, you can do so. But I find you always come back to this recipe. The only variation that I particularly like is every now and then you feel like something different. Instead of using your triple sec, you can substitute this, which, if you can see it, is passion fruit pulp. You make a passion fruit margarita, and ideally you could use a fresh passion fruit, but usually they're not available from the shops. So this stuff makes a very good substitute, and you use just about half of one of those little tins for each margarita, and you get the sweetness of the passion fruit go beautifully with the edge of the tequila. And there you have it. That's my dream come true.
Well,
Margaritas for lunch.
fantastic, Paul. I do remember many moons ago having a margarita in California, and they used crushed ice. I think I've only ever done it once because it gave me one of those ice headaches right above here. So we quickly went back to the more traditional version that you've demonstrated today. So we're really happy about that, and I'm hoping that everybody will have an Anzac margarita maybe.
I think that's a great
Any
idea.
excuse.
Yeah. Paul, thank you so
I can
much
never
for...
understand the logic behind putting ice in your margarita, crushed ice in your margarita, because all it's going to do is melt
Yeah, of
and
course.
dilute the taste of perfection. So
Paul,
shake it, pour it off.
thank you so much for coming on the show. Really good to see you. Thanks for that. And yeah, folks, go make some margaritas.
What a
That's my
brilliant
pleasure,
thing
mate.
to
Thanks for
do on a
calling.
long weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
Cheers, Paul.
Bye.
So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that has him in check, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute. 1 minute, and is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting.
Okay, that was a bit of a laugh. So Phil, as we mentioned earlier, it's Anzac weekend. Got some info for us?
I do actually. For those of you overseas that don't know what Anzac is, it's Australian New Zealand Army Corps. Anzac Day is a national day of remembrance in Australia and New Zealand that broadly commemorates all Australian and New Zealanders who served and died in all wars, conflicts and peacekeeping operations, and the contribution and suffering of all those who have served. On the morning of April 25th, 1915, the Anzacs set out to capture the Gallipoli Peninsula in order to open the Dardanelles to the Allied navies. The objective was to capture Constantinople, now Istanbul in Turkey, the capital of the Ottoman Empire and an ally of Germany. Because of the lockdown and the distancing, traditionally in Australia every year we have an Anzac Day service at all the war memorials around the country, from cities to little country towns. Everybody does it. And this year though, what the RSL, the Returned Servicemen's League, is proposing is at 6 a.m. at the hour of the traditional Anzac Day dawn service, they invite you to head to the end of your driveway, gate or balcony, tune into ABC Radio, 6PR, 96 FM or 6IX, and stand united but apart to remember the fallen, those who served, and those who continue to serve, lest we forget.
It's very important, Phil.
It is.
You know, it's going to be different for everybody this year, particularly for the diggers that normally would be there to remember.
Well, we have
their
Anzac
friends.
Day marches as
Yeah.
well in the cities where all the vets march or get pushed in their wheelchairs now.
It's going to be a very different day tomorrow, but I think the sentiment is still going to be there. For those of you that are watching after this happens, I hope you do get the chance to go online and review some of the things that happen. It's going to be particularly special in Australia and New Zealand this year.
It's something that is really big for us because we're such a young country. You know, we're only 200 odd years old and we don't have a lot of traditions. And so this is a really, really big one for us, and it's important. And it's not just the people from the past; it's those serving now as well.
Yeah, I think also they were talking earlier about bagpipe players.
Yeah.
Some bagpipe
Yeah.
players.
6
Lord help
a.m.
us. I'm thinking of a
wasn't
couple of
well
people in
received.
particular. It won't be 6 a.m, but I think 11 a.m. they're proposing that bagpipe players are out there doing,
Doing
Amazing Grace.
aren't they?
So
Yeah.
if you do hear something a bit odd,
It's not a cat dying.
It's not your neighbour's cat being run over. It is actually probably Ken and some of his mates out there playing Amazing Grace. And I hope everybody gets to stop for a minute.
Yeah,
And have a listen to
have a
that.
minute's silence. That's what we do as well. Have a minute's silence and just think about it all, of the sacrifices people made for the country we live in today.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, 'cause there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the quay. And amidst all the tears and the shouts and the cheers, we sailed off for Gallipoli. Oh, well, I remember that terrible day when the blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they call Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was ready, he primed himself well, he showered us with bullets and he rained us with shells, and in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell, nearly blew us right back to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain, and we buried ours and the Turks buried theirs, and it started all over again. Now those who were living did their best to survive in that mad world of death, blood and fire. And for 7 long weeks I kept myself alive, all the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse over tits, and when I awoke in my hospital bed and saw what it had done, Christ, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. And no more I'll go waltzing Matilda to the green bushes so far and near, for the hang tens and pegs a man needs 2 legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. They collected the cripples, the wounded and maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind and insane, those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve and to mourn and to pity. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway, but nobody cheered. They just stood and stared, and they turned their faces away. And now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reliving the dreams of past glory. I see the old men, all twisted and torn, the forgotten heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask me, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year their numbers get fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, Waltzing Matilda, who'll go a waltzing Matilda with me?
Okay, so next we've got a really famous person to chat to, haven't we?
We have.
We've got Gary Dunn, otherwise known as the MC extraordinaire on The Profile.
The host of our Profile show about WA musicians.
Yep, and he's been in isolation in a beautiful part of our state. I think he just had something thrown at him, but there we go.
How you doing, Gary?
Yeah, I'm good, Phil and Mark Whitehouse. So nice to be on your show. And are you whining much today, or?
We're whining and a bit cheesy along with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what have you been up to, Gary, in this time of intense isolation?
Well, I've been in this tin can for 5 weeks now,
Wow.
working obviously. You know, the planet Earth is blue and there's nothing I can do. You know, it's, I think I'm going a bit cabin feverish, you know, so.
I think there's a lot of that around, Gary, the old cabin fever, but, you know, it's bringing out some interesting sides to people's nature and their working habits.
Yeah, certainly. And look, I feel sorry for all the people who have carers that can't have their carers at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad situation for a lot of people out there, so I'm not really doing it that tough. I've got a beautiful wife who feeds me magnificently, and And yeah, life is not too bad at all, apart from not being able to see the grandkids. But I'll take you for a quick walk of where I live, if you like.
Yeah, we'd love to have a look around the place, Gary.
And whereabouts are you for our viewers? Just tell us where you are.
I'm in South Yunderup, and look, sorry about the finger. I don't have much time because I've got a virtual pub appointment coming up soon.
Oh, we won't hold you back from that.
I'll flip the camera around, and so this is I live
Wow.
on the back of the Murray River. Just get rid of that beautiful.
Oh, wow.
View. So yeah, we boat, we crab. It's quite a quiet place. It's always like this, even though everyone's self-isolated at the moment. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, there's my beautiful wife, and say hello.
Hi, Jackie.
Yep, saying hello, I think. And yeah, so we're just sort of bunkered down and yeah, doing our bit for Australia, if you like, because we're all in this together, aren't we?
We are indeed.
So you're still working a bit, Gary, remotely, are you?
Yeah, I'm working every day, Mark, and yeah, it's a difficult scenario trying to sell commercial solar. But yeah, it's at the moment with what's going on, but we're getting there. So you know, there's lots of opportunities out there still for people whose businesses are going well. So incentives at the moment. So
Yeah, it looks like you're dressed for work, actually. I mean, you do look very dapper at the best of times, even on the profile.
Mate, you know, I've got an image to uphold, Mark and Phil, and thank you for asking me and telling me how well I'm dressed. So this is how I like to get around the house. I'll just, you know, it's a wonderful suit, this suit.
Oh, beautiful, mate, beautiful.
You'll much enjoy it. I don't know if you can get a good picture of all that. But,
Mate, that's stunning. Stunning. And Tony Barlow's number, was it?
Yes. Yeah, I think I took the pants to the dressmaker for alterations, and they went into self-isolation, so he's got my pants for a couple of weeks. So.
That explains it then. That explains it.
Yeah, look, talking about the pub, did you hear the one about the guy who walked into the pub?
No.
Lucky bastard.
I suppose you're going to tell me you've been shopping with the missus lately as well.
Oh, mate, I don't leave the house, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm tied down, or always hoping to be.
Well, we'll leave that until after the virtual pub, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might leave that after we've stopped filming.
Yeah, look, I've been watching your show, and yeah,
Great.
I'm glad you can bring some joy to some people out there.
We hope.
I'm glad you passed 3 viewers now. It's good. I think it's really picking up.
Mate, I think it's racing towards 5 now.
Yeah, our numbers are not as big as the profile, I must say, but I mean, we can't compete with you, Gaz. I mean, you're just the best host.
Oh no, come on, mate. You know that's not true, and I'm lucky to be doing what I'm doing. So anyway, no more profiling at the moment, that's for sure.
No, we've got to wait, haven't we?
We'll be back. We'll be back one day.
Yeah.
Lots of people still talking about it. I spoke to Dave Emus at the Galleria the other day, and he's rapped about it. Con Rakos as well popped in, and he's a great supporter.
1.5 metres.
What was that one?
Are you keeping your social distancing?
Oh yeah. We've got signs up all over work and bits of tape all over the floor and a dingy dong bell thing.
Okay, sorry to cut in. Are you guys sitting 1.5 metres away from each other?
Yes, we certainly are.
We are, and we actually measured it too, so we're definitely far enough away.
Oh yeah. If you watched episode 1, you'd know.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. It was you guys sitting side by side in the middle of some cheese.
Yeah. Well, we've got to have the cheese.
Very cheesy situation.
It is.
Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, look, thanks for thinking of me, and thanks for keeping in touch. And yeah, I hope your show keeps kicking on and goes well, boys.
Yep. We'll be touching base, mate.
Yeah, thanks,
Okay.
Gaz. And have fun at the virtual pub.
Yes, I'm off. I need to get there quickly.
All right.
Yes. I can go in the non-smoking or smoking section in that virtual pub, so it's good.
Mate.
Okay, I'm gonna put my finger on the button and say goodbye. Thank you very much.
And there we have it, Brother Dunn, host of the Profile.
Thank you, Gary. That was fantastic to
Doesn't
catch
he
up.
live in a great place?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Do you think if we got on a boat and rowed past the back there,
we could wave?
we could do that? We could wave to him as we sail by.
Maybe we could do a show
mate.
down there one time.
On the river.
A remote,
What a
outside broadcast.
What a great idea.
Yeah,
And the weather's looking good too, isn't it?
it is.
Mm.
All right. Well, that's probably about it for this week, isn't it?
It is. I'm thinking of changing what I wear to work as well. Well, you know, Gary set a bit of a trend there, so I think I can see myself dashing down to Tony Barlow's, buy myself a new jacket. Don't know where I get the underwear from.
But as Gaz said, you know, working from home with teleconferencing, you only need to see from here up. So his clients don't need to see that he's in his undies.
Well, no. Thanks for that one, Gary. That's brought a smile to our face. And just a reminder about the competition. I'm not going to tell you the answer now. You thought you were going to hear it now, but no, you're not.
Next week.
We'll give you the answer next week.
So leave it in the comments.
Yeah. Good idea.
Have a good week, everyone. Stay safe. Ring each other up. Talk to each other.
Good idea, Phil.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.